Let's take a quick tour around our permaculture food forest and our farm here. I'm Natalie Lucier from Waykeeper Farm and Nerdery, and I'm going to take you through our little food forest, some newly planted areas, a super quick tour of our greenhouse here, and I also want to just make a super quick announcement that I'm going to be taking a sabbatical from YouTube videos, and that's just to enjoy the summer time with my kids and obviously keeping the farm running. We have 4 little lambs that we're taking care of, as well as our adult sheep, so things are pretty busy here on the farm. So let's go ahead and start the tour. So first things first, here is a brand new little mini orchard that we planted out this year. So we have a couple of trees, some of them are listing, which I do need to come in and make sure they're straight again. So here we have a pawpaw tree. I've also got, this is some alfalfa that we planted originally here because it was just pure clay and sand and just really kind of nothing growing. So we got some some wild plants growing here and lots of alfalfa and other good things to improve the soil and some clover. But here I've also got some more blackberries, raspberries, and some calendula that I transplanted out from the greenhouse, some apple trees, and you'll notice a lot of white fluff on the ground. So that is from our cottonwood tree, this giant tree here. And it's really helpful for shading the greenhouse when it's too hot in the summer. So here we have another pawpaw tree, and these were all planted this spring. We've got some blueberries, another pawpaw, more blueberries, some more bush blueberries, and then also some high bush blueberries here. And then these are some Asian pear trees, as well as some more apple trees here. We've also got goji berries coming, both transplanted from my husband's family's goji berries, and then some that we purchased as well. Heading into the greenhouse here, we've got some beautiful snapdragons right at the entrance, and you'll see that it's very overgrown. Some of this is stuff that I really need to come in and remove. Some of it I'm trying to save seeds from. So you've got some chamomile over here, and a lot of these are beets that I'm letting go to seed, and I want to preserve some of those seeds. I've also got some dill that I'm letting go to seed, and some of that is for the pollinators, and some of that is for us. You can see we've got a nice broccoli coming over here, and you'll see it's kind of a mix, so I'm trying to really succession plant in here because we really can grow a lot of food if we just stagger it properly, and getting the timing right has been probably the hardest part of running this greenhouse. So you can see this is a cabbage and it's gone completely to seed. This here is a Brussels sprout plant that has completely overgrown and grown almost like mini cabbages that we're now picking and eating as well. I'm growing some potatoes in pots here. Some of them are ready to harvest. We've already been harvesting them. I've got some blackberries I really need to trellis over here as well. And this is our fig tree, which I'm super excited we might actually get figs on this year. Here we've been harvesting some cauliflowers that we've already eaten. And then we've got our peppers and our eggplants as well that are doing really well. Already got some flowers. I've got some holy basil, Tulsi basil. We've got some cantaloupes growing here with lots of flowers. No fruit quite yet, so I'm really hoping it actually works this year because I have a hard time growing melons so far here, and so I'm hoping this year will be the year. And we're using this trellis here for our beans and our cucumbers, and this is our first time putting a trellis sort of bent like this inside of the greenhouse. And then we've got our tomatoes. So this year we decided not to overdo it with the tomatoes and just focus on one bed of tomatoes. Last year we had way too many, we could not keep up. Here we've got some mizuna, some lettuce going to seed, some more carrots, and then back here we planted some grapes for the first time. So we've got 2 little grapes, and I think we've already got some flowers going on those, so I don't know whether we'll get grapes for the first year, but I'm thinking we will. This is a beautiful borage flower. You can see here it's really got so many flowers, it's grown a lot. And then we've got more fig trees back here with more figs coming on as well. And they're still pretty small, but I'm super excited about those too. And then more overgrown cabbage family plants as well here. And you can see we've got some new stuff coming down as well. Here we've got our garlic patch and a little bit of radishes on the side that are basically self-sown year to year and just keep on growing. And some of these garlic scapes are ready to be picked. You can also see some rye growing in between the garlic. So we had a rye patch here the year before, and then we decided to move it over to garlic. And yes, you can see it's sort of still holding on quite a bit. So here we are back on our berms next to our pond, and I want to show you, I took some cuttings from our willow trees, and you can see they're definitely sprouting up and growing. So we have a golden curls willow and then just a regular curly willow, and I'm really enjoying propagating these kind of plants, and I know that sheep enjoy eating willow tree hay, so I'm trying to propagate and have as many of these willow trees going as possible. I might end up moving them eventually, but this is where I'm using the wood chips to basically give them a good spot to get established. Let's continue the tour. So here we have our Nanking cherry, and then we have a honey locust tree, and then our first peach tree. So you can see we've got peaches on it. I have no idea whether we're actually going to get peaches since they were just planted last year, and I feel like the tree should probably just be putting more energy towards growing and less towards making fruit. So they might just drop, or we might remove them, or we might keep one or two, we'll see. And then here's another Nanking cherry. This is our second peach tree, and you can see more peaches under there as well. And these peaches look a little healthier than the other ones. I'm not sure why. Could just be this tree's healthier too. And then we've got our haskap berries, as well as another honey locust. More little baby peaches on our third peach tree here. And then we get to the cherry tree. So this tree was full of cherries, about maybe 20 cherries or so, and you can see there's maybe one left. They all fell, which, like I said, I think it's just the first year since it's been planted. I don't think it was quite ready to be making fruit. Now this is a little bit different from what I originally had here. I used to have some sea berry plants here, but I ended up moving them to be closer to the sea berry male that I planted this year. So this here is some Osage orange, and we planted these from seed, and these are going to get pretty big, so we'll see if we keep them here or not. We'll figure that out when we get there. This here is our second cherry tree, and oh, I just noticed this, that there's this kind of sap coming off of it here. If you know what that is, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm going to be doing my research, but you can see we have one cherry. It looks like it's actually going to be delicious too. So yes, cherries on the way. Probably next year we'll have a lot more. Since my last video, I've also added another apple tree here, as well as another apple tree over there. So we've got two side by side, one on each berm. So right next to this apple tree here, we have our elderberry. So this is another elderberry. We've got some nice flowers coming on the way. The gummy berries are definitely getting a little bit taller. This is our second gummy berry. No fruits or flowers this year. Here we have a hazelnut that we also planted from seed. A nice little comfrey plant. And this here is a mulberry that we got as a seedling under a large mulberry tree on a bike path close to where we live. Here we have honeyberry, and I'm super excited to see that it has a new little sprout. So I'm hoping that we keep getting more and more of these, and it just becomes a beautiful giant bush. So I'm super excited to see our honey locust here putting on so much growth, new leaves, getting taller and bigger and bushier, especially compared to our black locust, which is over there. And this guy grew so fast by comparison. So this is another Osage orange, and Osage orange is really great as firewood. I don't know if we'll actually use it as firewood, but it's definitely great to have in our landscape as well. And you can see some nice bees enjoying this comfrey plant, all the flowers on there. Really enjoying it. Another honeyberry, and this here is our black locust. So you can see the flowers are just about done on some of these, and I really love the smell of these flowers. It really reminds me of jasmine. So if you've ever had jasmine tea or jasmine flowers, that's what this black locust flowers really reminds me of. You can see there's spikes on this tree, so it's still there, but definitely these flowers have been amazing. I saw tons of bees on these flowers when they were in full bloom as well. We've got a little bit more Saskatoon or June berries. And here, this is again the unknown tree that I planted from seed. We'll figure it out when it starts flowering or doing something once we know what it is. And then here, this is my Romeo cherry bush. I think it's not doing well at all. I think it got knocked over by some of our ducks during the winter. So we'll see if it makes it or not. And then down here we have more of our raspberries. So I'm really, really happy they're finally coming into their own. I feel like we will actually get raspberries and not just a handful here and there this year. So I'm excited to see these come together and see them ripen. It's been really, really dry, and we finally are just starting to get some rain again. So I think they'll start to produce again very, very soon. And then down here I have a goji berry. This one also produced a good amount last year, so I'm excited about this year. And then we have another hazel, started from seed. And then this also is a hazel started from seed, and it's just doing somehow much, much better than the others. So I'm happy to see it grow as well. So there you have it. Here's an update. We're about the middle of June 2023. I hope you enjoyed this quick food forest tour and what we're doing here on our permaculture farm. And if you want to subscribe for when we come back with more videos and updates, make sure to do that, and I will catch you in the next video. Hope you have an amazing summer.